Alright, welcome folks, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of all ages, etc., to the 2024 rendition of the ARC GT3 Challenge. That was a speed run there, Luke. What in the heck? You got a comment in before YouTube even registered there was a viewer. We have the first round of the GT3 Challenge right on offer here to kick off the new year for Project Cars 2 racing action. And well, this track used to be the finale for a lot of ARC GT3 racing and endurance, but now today it'll be the first round here at the Dubai Autodrome. Certainly expect tire temperatures to be a bit of an issue for some drivers and certain cars. Some cars are better than others when it comes to that. As is always the case with GT3, some cars, Honestly, even, like, full disclosure right from the outset, GT3 is probably my favorite racing series because all of the cars are different, but still relatively equal. It's not quite like the spec series of things like supercars or everybody's car is exactly the same, minus setup differences. Or other series like F1 where, oh, this car is just straight up better than this one in every way. Well, in real life, anyway. Not like that in the actual ARC F1 leagues, where we use equal cars, so it basically just becomes a spec series with 10 different liveries. Kind of like F2, but not. Clear my throat there, and 2 layers to it. We are watching along with Francisco Alonso as he will be the first driver to start the first hot lap of the year. Well, in Project Cars anyway. We already had races like the karting championship last night on Gran Turismo 7. But for Project Cars 2, the series is, well, officially underway as far as I see it. Ferrari 488 heads towards turn 1. Not the best variety in terms of car model representation. I think we've only got like 6 manufacturers out of the 6 different car models have been chosen in the draft. When there are like 15 options, and like at least 11 of them are like good choices to me. And the others can work if you know what you're doing. But to my knowledge, most of this field is going to be McLarens, Ferraris, Mercedes, and Porsches. There's a couple of Acuras. And wait, no, there's Lamborghinis. Did I say Lamborghini? I am an idiot. Porsches, McLarens, Ferraris, Mercedes, Lamborghinis, and then maybe an Acura or 2. Alonso really revving that engine all the way out as he head towards the first real hairpin of the circuit, out of the 2 that are really here. Dubai definitely favors cars with high speed cornering capabilities, medium to high. There's the other hairpin. Some might call the final turn a hairpin. I think that's just a slow sweeper more than anything. Down the hill to basically the track's 3rd carousel. Right hand kink up the hill. Traction can be difficult to maintain through there. Final turn for Alonso. Looked pretty decent to me. Probably not on the edge of his limits, but it's nice to at least get that first lap in there. A 58.3 for the 488 driver. That's one of my favorites too, especially when the sun goes down and you can really let the tires eat without having to worry about your tires being on fire. Not the kind of Hot Wheels I'm a fan of. There's other cars. I'm trying to figure out who's where on the track. Matthew Daly, driving for 44R once again. He crosses with a 58.5. So just an inch off Alonso, and just a tenth above Alonso is his teammate AJ Knickel. That's not representative from Jurgensmeyer, I can assure you. Bro is not in a GT5 car. And Dylan Bam with a 57.5, so right back to the status quo from, well, just about every other Project Cars 2 series where, at least on this first set of laps, Dylan showing he is the guy to beat in terms of sheer pace. But that's only one, that's only step one, as I'm sure even Dylan himself is intimately familiar with that fact. Logan Cool, a 201.1, Connor Hennick, 201.6. Clearly the two McLaren drivers still trying to find their footing here. Ridwan Hamza with his first Project Cars 2 GT3 race on offer, a 59.9 for the Porsche driver. I believe his team is the only team with Porsche. His teammate Derek Daly is just not leaving the pits. Brother to Matthew, so we'll have to see how they stack up throughout the year. Justin Rott in the 63 Ferrari. I do not believe this is his full-time car. I don't believe he has a full-time car, so... And then finally Luis Ramirez spinning in the 78 Lamborghini. That's an outlap, not very much worth looking at there. AJ Knickel, final turn. Not sure. Oh, Matthew Daly jumps up just above Dylan Bam, 16 thousandths up of 57.57. I don't think that was a push lap for Knickel there. Only not in the 59s. It's not only representative. Probably backed out of it after making some kind of error. Really using those curbs. The Mercedes is a little taller than average, so it can kind of hit those curbs with a little less of an issue, but I think the game yelled at him for his use of the track limits. At least it's spun again. I believe he said this is his first race, his first ARC race with his new Logitech G29. So it's going to be a learning curve for him in the early going here. Oh, big slide for Francisco Alonso. He does just about catch it, but that might really ruin his lap time here, as sliding the tires tends to do. But the cornering speed he carried through there, he just went flat out through a corner that most cars do have to let off for. He clearly has this thing wired for turning, which the Ferrari is very good at doing that already, so... Those are quite some apex speeds. Why'd I go into cockpit right when we hit a straightaway? There's nothing to look at right now. A few drivers' qualifying sessions have already prematurely ended. Use the Ferrari's awkward braking to his advantage there. The Ferrari tends to be most unstable, and really the only time it's ever unstable is under heavy braking, but he used that to turn in. AJ's lap is invalid, so he will only be getting third at best. Logan Cool does not like this track. It's a bit of a novice killer. Not to imply that you are a novice, but it definitely has some tricks up its sleeve. Alonso through the last 3 corners here. We'll see if he's made up something from that slide in T1, or failing that, he does have another chance after this. Matthew Daly's session is over. He is in the Logan. Be quiet. I have 1 races in this series, a 57.7. Very, very close to the top of the board. I figure if he didn't slide the tires in 1, that might have been the top of the charts. At least provisionally. Also, Luke, at this current moment, he's not my driver. He's yours. So, I have a team. The 88 and 89 Acuras are drafted, but there's nobody in them because nobody wants to drive for my bottom of the barrel outfit. Final turn for Dylan Bam. Let's see if he can take that pole back. He only needs to find about 200ths, and he finds 3/10ths. 57.3 puts him back on the top of the board. No arguments from Alonso. Matthew Daly's session was over moments ago already. Didn't even notice that Hannick improved to a 59.8, so he at least jumped Ridwan, but the Australian driver is still on the racetrack, making his way down the back straightaway with insufficient fuel to complete the lap, however. So that's kind of a problem. Just thrown off by another talking. All over the curb used by AJ Knickel. This is the last chance. The fact he's still on the track tells me that he got back around after invalidating his last lap. Into the slowest carousel. And the right-hand kink up the hill. Car obeys. Final turn, late apex. We'll see if the defending umpteen-thousand-time champion has anything to say about that 57.3. I don't know. He did! 56.8! Oh my lord! That is a lot of speed, obviously. I mean, duh. So, definitely a mess of a qualifying session for particularly Juergensmeyer and Ramirez. Ramirez kind of to be expected first race on a wheel. Juergensmeyer, I really don't know what went wrong up there. And I think this might be like his first like full GT3 season. I don't think he raced in the last one much. If he did, I don't remember it. And I know if he did race before, he was not in a 488, so. Excuse me. Remains to be seen. You know, I think he is still on the learning curve for that car. The Ferrari is beginner friendly, but if you are used to other cars, especially ones that are like more oversteery, that can be a bit of an adjustment period. Actually, you know, I'm dumb. Juergensmeyer has definitely driven. I think he was in a Mercedes, though, which is like the opposite equal to the Ferrari 488. Every bit of top speed that the Mercedes has is rivaled by the amount of cornering grip the Ferrari can get. So, as we get through the sort of strategy sequence, everybody's getting their thing set up. It shouldn't take too much. This is an 8-lap sprint race. Same rules as last year, top 8 flip for the starting grid of the feature. So these red lights are a lie. And I'm going to try and clear my throat so I don't have to clear it on the mic every 5 seconds like I've been doing thus far. And now that I've failed to do that, clearly, oh my god. I was not having this problem before I started commentating, by the way. When I was in the party talking with AJ and some other guys, I was not having any issues with my throat being congested. But now suddenly, I have to talk for an hour and a half, and everything just right there, refusing to let me do that. I hate my body sometimes. AJ Knickel will get on the pole with his 56.8. Memory good. Dylan Bam, P2. Matthew Daly, P3. Francisco Alonso, P4. Connor Hannock P5, although kind of he kind of marks where the skill gap ends and begins. Ridwan Hamza, I think it's Hamza, in P6. Logan Cool in 7th. Derek Daly in 8th. Justin Rott in 9th. 10th for Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, and Luis Ramirez starts in last. He's still trying to get used to that wheel of his. So I don't really... I wouldn't expect him to necessarily be a top competitor early on in the season here. That's more for go-karts, where he's not using his wheel yet. And he won the race. He won the race last night at Tsukuba, so... We will about to double up. Yep. I will about to English. Yeah. We're now doubling up to bring us to the green flag to officially kick off the 2024 ARC GT3 Challenge season. 12-round calendar ahead of us, kicking things off from Dubai. As to see where this one goes. Hopefully we'll have a good title battle, because that's pretty rare in GT3. Whenever AJ is ready, we are green from Dubai to kick off 2024 on Project Cars 2, and there's already chaos in the midfield. Everybody's trying to find a lane as they head towards T1. AJ Kinnickle is pretty well clear of everybody before we even get to turn 1, so he has nothing to worry about. 2x2 in the mid-pack, contact near the front. Dylan and Matthew having contact. Justin Rott around in the very back. Ramirez is with him. Not sure if there's correlation there, but I think there might be individual spins. It's hard to tell because we're already going slow through here. It's hard to tell if they're under yellow conditions. Doesn't seem like it, though. Now, we stay green. I guess there were isolated spins. Just shared lack of traction. Ridwan with a solid start up into the top 5, but a bit of an awkward exit from the first carousel. Connor Hannock is going to be right there. But that Porsche has enough top speed to escape. It's going to be a bit ambitious. No, it is not. Hannock will barely avoid... Oh, no, they don't avoid contact. Ridwan got stalled off on the exit with turbo lag, and I think a bit of lag also. Turbo and internet lag has resulted in a collision that was a little bit dramatic. Oh, there's a battle for the lead going on. Dylan is harassing AJ Kinnickle to try and take the lead away, but he's going to be stuck the long way around for the very slow carousel coming up. Plus, that Merc just has the advantage heading towards it, but late braking, is that enough to seal the deal? It might not be. Nope, washing out wide, understeer. And he'll just have to slowly rejoin the circuit. Probably get yelled at by the game, too, for track extending, even though he very obviously lost time. It wouldn't even surprise me if that were the case. And now Francisco Alonso has joined the party as well. AJ Kinnickle trying to prevent slipstreaming. I don't think he has to do too much of that. The Mercedes has quite a bit in a straight line. Apparently not enough. The Lamborghini is also really good on a straight. It's the Ferrari that's sort of on the back foot in that regard, but it's able to stay with them in the corners, as we're very obviously seeing. He's having to brake here just to avoid running over these two. Too wide for 5th. Connor Hannock back to where he started, taking the position away from the other Porsche of Derek Daly. Matthew Daly is his brother, not teammate though. As funny as that would have been, they're not teammates. He is kind of just lying in wait. He's not too far behind the lead 3. He's kind of in the spot I like to be in. He's not getting dirty air. His handling is not being affected by them. But if something crazy goes on up here, he's in the perfect spot to take up, to take away the pieces. Pick up the pieces. Whatever. Insert idiom here. Jurgensmeyer and Hamza are the only two drivers really near each other than the lead four. The midfield's already kind of spread out with different cars having mistakes and damage early on. AJ must have had a really good sector just there. Oh, and Dylan is repeating history. Around he goes in the carousel. Francisco Alonso also fell back a lot. I don't know if that was really a fair rejoin. I mean, it was clean, but it was like... It's like he should have been overtaken there if he didn't cut the corner, I think. Maybe that's just depth perception, but... I don't know. Dylan said he worked a lot to try and make that setup different from last year, and it just seems to have put him in the same place he used to be. Sideways. That's given AJ Knickel all the breathing room in the world, especially now that his teammate is on his bumper, but we'll look back to the midfield here, battle for 6th. Also ongoing. Jurgensmeyer has already made up a little bit for that less than ideal qualifying session. Oh my word, cornering speed difference. Red one had that corner hooked up, and Jurgensmeyer, I think, missed the apex. Oh, I should probably be looking here. They had like no interval there. Oh, around goes Dylan again. But if you close your eyes, yeah, should have picked something else, Dylan. I told. Anywho, taking jabs at Dylan Bam aside, that has basically secured the top 3 for the time being, unless something exceptional happens. Even the only real battles on the racetrack for 6th and for 10th. As Logan Cool is catching up to the back of Ramirez. And these two are battling right now. And Ridwan is going to basically take him at the hairpin with not a ton of resistance from Jurgensmeyer, all things granted. Logan made some kind of error that's allowed Luis to escape. And Dylan Bam is on the... trying to... never mind, he is dying again. That's going to probably put him back out of the top 7. Yeah, down to 7th now, and he was at one point challenging for the lead. And now, I think his tires are probably a little bit on fire, considering he spun 3 times in 2 laps. And so he's just going to keep spinning. At this point, he's just pitting. I'm not sure if he's actually got damage, or if at this point he just wants to get off the tires he was on and get onto ones that aren't slightly on fire. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been saying, especially when we got 2 other ones in the series, in the league, but yeah, we're still doing P-Cars too. Somewhere in the description, I believe, you'll find a link to the Discord server and all the other sign-up stuff if you were interested in doing it yourself. As difficult as that might be, considering the game's been delisted, if you don't already have it, you're kinda out of luck. Justin Rott catching up to Derek Daly. I don't think either one of these drivers is really on a full-time schedule, to my knowledge. Oh, now Alonso's around. It's a bad day to be in an Italian car, and that'll give Redwan 4th place. And get it back going, he'll be in 6th place. It's the top 8 that you really want to be in, because that's where you get the, Well, this is on PlayStation 5, or PlayStation in general. Not that it really makes much of a difference. At least with PlayStation, you could find a physical copy and get at least the game, but under the DLC. So you don't have to really worry about finding it on PC. But if you don't have a PlayStation, then you are, again, out of luck. Nickel has just kind of had, I don't want to say it's an easy race, they never are easy, even in a video game, but he's not had too many issues after about lap 3. His teammates behind him keeping a respectable distance of about 2 seconds or thereabouts. All of his closest rivals are struggling to keep their wheels going the correct direction. Connor Hannick is third place, 11 seconds behind Nickel. So, he just kind of has to bring it home at this point. We also have our own Rallycross series later in the year. It might be about April or May. Do not remember. I don't remember the order of events. Actually, no. April might be IndyCar. I don't remember. We have a Rallycross series. You'd have to like look around to figure it out though, because I don't have it all committed to memory. And there's some pitiful excuse of a commentator I am, but I don't even remember my own league. Or not my own league, but the league I'm commentating for. I don't know the details. Jurgensmeyer is still trying to grip onto the back of Hamza, but it's not really working. See, somebody is destroying the braking boards inside of the carousel here. You can have up to 16 people in most races. Rallycross only has rounds of 6, but that's kind of how it works anyway. We only have 11 today, probably just due to the fact that Project Cars 2 is sort of losing its popularity. My God. You know that. And I think everyone's just kind of in bring it home mode, really, as I said previously. Everyone's just trying to keep the car on the tarmac. Nobody's really near each other, and with only 3 to go, it's not like anything like strategy can really come into play. The strategy is to stay on the race circuit. That's the strategy. So we're just kind of waiting for the checkered flag and to bring us into the feature race in a handful of minutes. That's really what we're doing here. Interesting note that 44Rs seem to be, at least in the early going, oh, I see all those braking boards are gone too. Seem to be relatively in control of things here. Running 1-2, both their cars look pretty planted out there. We do have, I think we got something on the radar down here. And we got Alonso trying to get back up to Jurgensmeyer. He is within something like a 1.25 seconds here. 2 Ferrari drivers. One that explicitly chose his teammates. Is Jurgensmeyer in the 2? These are teammates. I'm blind. Yeah, they're teammates. It's interesting because their team owner, Justin Rott, is in the race, but he's on a reserve for a third car that's not even attached to his own team. Looks like we have a bit of a battle between these two that might kick off into something more, if we're lucky. And Matthew Daly's looking a little adventurous too. He's getting up to his teammate as well. We're going to have 2 battles between teammates as we head in towards the final lap. Yeah, Logan Cool with this classic reverse grid pole, if he stays where he is right now. He probably wouldn't have it any other way, knowing him. And I feel like I do, since he is my GT7 driver. Oh, we are definitely having a battle. Down the inside goes Alonso, and I don't think Jurgensmeyer really did too much to stop it. Yeah, I see the headlights. I think that was coordinated, as they are teammates. And Alonso has just the superior pace if he gets, if he keeps his car under him. Jurgensmeyer was equally struggling on pace and grip, so it doesn't surprise me that they would make the call. AJ is apparently sweating up there. He's weaving to try and keep his own teammate away as we head on to the final lap here for the sprint race at Dubai. Slipstream goes crazy on the back straightaway. If Matthew Daly gets a good run through Sector 1 here, the Canadian might be in danger. Oh, he's missed Turn 1 as well. That is going to be interesting. You might see some teammate battling here. Give us a show, folks. I've been invited to play a game I don't have. Into the carousel. AJ is trying to sweep the late apex. So that's going to be helpful to him. That might be close enough. Take each other. Oh yeah, you love that. Our World Rally Champion is sitting in third. If these two crash, I don't think they're close enough, though. It would take a mistake from AJ, again, for Matthew to have a chance. Almost a shot. A chance and a shot put together. Oh, that's not the kind of corners you want to be making, though. I think that might have just canceled that. Oh, that's a really good run, though, but it's not enough of a run. 4/10 back still. This is a heavy braking point, but it's not that heavy of a braking point. But he's got his team owner sweating up there. He just needs to survive these turns. He's not surviving these turns. They're almost too wide. Crossover applied. Final turn. Matthew Daly's gonna go for it. They nearly collide. That's the inside lane. That's the correct lane. Matthew Daly has stolen this victory from his team owner. Oh, man. Oh, but there's a penalty, so unless that gets undone later, that might not matter. What a last second culmination of events there. Matthew Daly wins it on the track. Connor Hannock gets third in all of this. Red won fourth for his first GT3 race on P-Cars 2. He's had plenty of wins on other games, but not here. Alonso maintains fifth. Jurgensmeyer comes home in sixth. And then they get to wait a minute for the rest of our field here. Justin Rott is P7, so make it basically unofficially a GOAT Inc. 567. All of my Ferrari ducks in a row. And Logan Cool will grab P8, but most importantly, probably for him, the reverse grid pull. Something that I feel like we should ban him from having, because it always goes a little wrong when he gets to that. And, well, not the sprint race that Dylan Bam was looking for if he was trying to take the fight to AJ Knickel. Spinning is not how you do that. No, that's not how you do that, Dylan. No. It's like it's on command. You tell a dog to sit, you tell a Dylan to spin. Ramirez retired the car with 10th, so... Nice test monitor on that pit road screen there. I see that. Yeah, so 2 seconds worth of penalties, but they can be undone post-race if evidence is shown that that was a lie, which happens more often. It happens almost all the time, actually. Because this game has a hard time recognizing when a driver has slowed down enough to negate a penalty that they shouldn't have. You can extend the track, gain like 8/10, get yelled at for extending track limits, slow down, lose 3 seconds, and still get a penalty. of a second for gaining 8/10 and dropping 3 seconds. So it happens all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised if retroactively we do grant Matthew Daly the W. Well, that was something. Really didn't think we'd see a battle anywhere after like lap 6. My Discord is exploding. And my mom is on the phone. Yeah, those penalties are standing. I feel like I just got robbed. I feel more robbed than Matthew probably does. I called a finish that didn't matter. Shout out to the PS5 skyscraper on the left there, next to the sunset. Seriously, that looks like a PS5, and you can't tell me otherwise. I really do hope my mom's phone call isn't coming up on the microphone. There's not a darn thing we can do about that. I can't tell her to not talk to people. If it is. Otherwise, if it's not, and I'm just talking about nothing, then, oh, whoops. But if something she doesn't want the internet to know about gets out on the internet, that's her fault. She knows I commentate at 6 on Mondays. I've been doing this for how long now? As we wait for the strategy setup moment, and then you don't hear anything probably because there's nothing to hear. There was something going on. I wasn't talking, and there was a loading screen. Oh no, you mean the okay? No, never mind. I'm dumb. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. You mean the phone call? Well, that's nice then. Yeah, no, I got there. I spaced out. I spaced out while we were waiting for the strategy, like pre-race, and also the and now the rolling start. I see they got Dylan in the right place. There goes Logan to take his favorite part of GT3, the reverse grid pull. It's only the top 8 that get flipped, as I already said. So 9th, 10th, and 11th. So Dylan, Luis, and Derek will not be changed. They will still start 9, 10, 11. Definitely the front of the grid's going to be the place to look because, well, you know, that's like one of the, where the, you know, the mid-pack cars suddenly starting at the front. And, yeah. Yeah, you kind of got your McLarens flanking in the top part. You got Hannick ahead of the two race leading Mercedes, and you got Logan, who can maybe try and play defender a little bit. God knows he's very good at being in people's way, and I can say that with full confidence. He'd probably take that as a compliment. So. We just have the procession of Ferraris here. Logan Cool leads his army of Scarlet Ferraris around the Dubai circuit, circa 2024, colorized. And then there's the Porsche, that's like the cheese or something. I was trying to think of like something blue you'd put on a hamburger, but I don't think there's anything blue you'd put on a hamburger. The mayo, or the Vegemite. This is Australian. Now the field will double up. You know, Logan Cool will get the pole right alongside Justin Rott. Then Jurgensmeyer, then Alonso, then Hamza, Hannick, Matthew Daly, AJ Knickel, Dylan Bam, Luis Ramirez, and Derek Daly starting in last place. Like we'll look right at the middle. Look at the guy that got to got to third in consistency and nothing else. Basically, he managed to keep his car on the road, and that's a very Riker certified strategy, especially in this series where some people somehow still have a hard time doing that. And whenever Dylan force of habit, whenever Logan would like to get on the throttle, we are green. He's waited to the start-finish line. That was absolutely a jump and a half from Francisco Alonso. Might have been a jump start. I don't want to be that guy, but it looked like a jump start to me. Oh, but here comes AJ with the start of a lifetime, and he has turned Alonso. Oh, there's chaos. There is chaos. Oh, there is a flip. There is absolute destruction. Alonso has gone from the very top to the literal bottom in absolutely record time. It's looking more like getting over it than Project Cars. And I think there's a little bit of chaos. Nobody knows who was supposed to be where after that, but we are undeniably under safety car conditions, given that one there. AJ gave Francisco a little bit of a tap while the car was not overloaded, while the car's weight was distributed. Terminology. The car was loaded up. The car was turning. And that tap to the quarter panel sent it round. Mid-engine rear-wheel drive moment at its finest. That checks up everything. Logan Cool had no time to react to AJ slowing down to not make Alonso's situation worse. Drives into AJ, and the rest is just dominoes, and I don't mean the pizza chain. Kind of hearing some reports that tires might be a concern in this race for drivers that short pit. And apparently, from what I'm seeing in the Discord, and by that I mean AJ is straight up telling me, tire wears can be bad And that's how Matthew was catching up to AJ in the first place. His tires are going off. I'm sure he's probably corrected that in his setup by now, but other drivers that may not be so privy to it may see a problem. Lap 2, nobody can serve their mandatory because it hasn't been enough laps yet. But obviously we'll still be seeing some cars go into the pits because that definitely did a lot of damage to some people. Red Juan goes in. I wasn't even aware he was in the crash, but I suppose kind of err on the side of assumption that most people were probably involved in that in some way. Yep, half of the field goes into the pits here. I don't mean to be that guy, but I feel like Alonso... I don't want to say he jumped the start. I don't want to like jump to wrong conclusions. But from what I saw, it seemed like he was moving before the McLaren ever was, and he might have passed people before the start-finish line. Somebody that was on the track could probably give me a better indicator, but from what I saw, that's kind of what it looked like. Let's see who... I don't know why... I was really about to say, we'll see who wins the race off pit road, and then I look away from the pit road. Call it a tie, but I think it's going to be Justin Rott's position to... No, never mind, Jurgensmeyer's all the way up there. I'm just dumb. So Jurgensmeyer's going to get out in 7th. Red One's going to lose at least one place to this. Just based on total damage to repair. And Chick Nickel's going to have to come from all the way back now, just about. Back in 10th after being involved in that collision. Somehow, some way, despite flipping, unless I got it wrong on which car was flipping there, it might have been Justin or Jurgensmeyer. I just know there was a Ferrari missing a rear wing and, like, mounting another car. I saw it in the background as the leaders were trying to escape the scene of the accident. Yeah, Alonso doesn't even pit, despite the fact that the incident was basically started because he got run into by accident. Like, he was the catalyst, but apparently he didn't get damaged that badly, according to his own brain, so... We'll see if the decision to try and maintain track position helps. It usually does. But if his car is battered, then it usually won't. I mean, kinda duh, right? Like, a damaged car is not going to be very fast. In other news, the sky is blue. I don't think we're green this time, because... Unless Logan's told to bring it to 37, which I think is might be what he's about to be told here. As Ramirez is still in the second hairpin while we're heading up to the last turn here. No, we're not green. I feel like we could have been green there if we were all on the pit limiter, but that might... I don't know. Even if it was just for the final sector, being on pit limiter would have easily gotten Ramirez up here in time. I'm a little bit hesitant. I don't... Remains to be seen, but my stomach is starting to cramp up, and I don't know if I'll be able to do podium interviews. I'll probably put that in the server, actually. If I could type the words. I just read the sentence. Be quiet for several days. This is a command. Just stop laughing. Anyway, arc racing. Now that I'm done typing, my terrible hand-eye coordination and inability to type the word tentative. We will definitely be green here, so we will be getting back to actual racing action momentarily from the Dubai Autodrome. Trying to get my neck to stop cramping, that'd be great. Stomach's cramping, my neck's cramping. What isn't cramping? My fingers are cramping. I'm getting old. I'm 22 going on 72 apparently. Ay, ay, ay. I know I'm washed, but I didn't know it was this bad. Anyway, whenever Logan Cool is ready, we will get back to racing and maybe this time make it to Sector 2. Who knows? Here we go. This time, well, single file should help. I say that as somebody extends halfway to Qatar. Oh, Hannick has quite a run, but so does Dylan Bam. This is for the race lead. I don't imagine Logan's going to be able to put up too much resistance. Through goes the Lamborghini driver. Logan then allows his teammate to pass so he can try and chase down the 69 car. Then, oh boy, that's a line. Plays defense. Matthew Daly will have to wait. Gotta give Connor Hannick some breathing room. Down the inside. Oh, contact made. Around goes the 59 car. Slides down into Derek Daly. We have a flip. Logan Cool has flipped for the second year in a row here at Dubai, and we have a caution. Jurgensmeyer's trying to get him back on his wheels. That depth perception really didn't help me too much there. I know the rule was changed. Track resets are allowed if we literally can't move, so... Matthew Daly lets him go back by, so I think even Matthew knows that was... Even Matthew could tell that was his fault, even if I couldn't, based on the camera angle I was given. So, that was a violent crash. And this time it wasn't you, Luke, because you're not here. Have our second caution of the race. We've yet to make it to Sector 3, which is a little concerning. But now that the running order is a little bit more normalized, I think we should be able to kind of get... we should be able to... we didn't need that braking board anyway, Dylan. We should be able to actually get somewhere on the next restart. Yeah, usually predicting flips is more like my thing on plate races. I expect most people to pit here. The fact that somebody isn't either means that they are brave or stupid. That must be Alonso not pitting. Indeed, he is staying out. I wonder if he knows that A, he's supposed to be going slow. And, okay, now he does. I think he was probably told. And B, mandatory didn't count on the first pit stop because it was only lap 2. And now the mandatory would have counted, so he might be waiting on another caution. That is a fair bet to make, considering what we have seen so far. But it is still very much a risky decision to make when you could have the safe option and still be near the front of the field. That's a sight. Hey Justin, you got enough fuel in that thing? Oh my god. Bro has the maximum amount of fuel that car can hold. You don't need that much. We got 12 to go. And we got Connor Hennick with literally a third of that. Dylan really did not have a good pit stop. He's down in 5th now. AJ is in 4th. I don't remember seeing him do much recovery driving. He just somehow back up here. Like it's like I missed the chapter or something. I missed the lap. Yeah, looks like the field's baseball. Yeah, the field's pretty much here. We're gonna be green this time for sure. Somehow Logan wasn't the last car to get there, despite literally flipping over. I don't know how. Did Jurgensmeyer forget to leave his pit box? Why does this car still look like it just came out of the landfill? I don't know if Jerk will get here in time. It's gonna be kind of close, actually, unless we slow it back down to 37. He should get here. He's gonna be going faster on the straightaway, obviously. Maybe not. Well, tentatively we wait to see if Alonso does floor it. He's already basically halfway to flooring it as it is, so... Oh, yeah, we're green. Oh, we're going. Surprise! Full throttle. He certainly got a jump on me, and he definitely got a jump on Justin Rott. And here comes AJ heading for 3rd ahead of the McLaren. He's going to get that with relative ease. 3 wide, that's a squeeze and a half. We're still 3 wide on the exit. Bit of wait and see. Matthew Daly is forced to either concede or be eliminated. I feel like a trackside camera on the outside of this corner would be cooler. Is that just me? Oh, what in the heck? How'd you get there? Down the inside of Hannick. Caught that man asleep at the wheel. Red One will actually do the same, but he'll be stuck on the outside at a corner that doesn't work. So, oh, and around goes 69. Dylan Bam is continuing the tradition. He is back down in last. Oh, AJ has the run of a decade on the back of Justin Rott. Can he get... Yeah, he'll get alongside easily. We weren't even near the braking zone. Down the inside goes the 124. Is he good? Yes, he is. He is clear of the Ferrari. Around is somebody back here. It is Luis Ramirez. The Lamborghinis are not having a great day. 2 wide. Red One getting opportunistic. He will get into 3rd ahead of Justin Rott. Justin is falling. Oh, they're connected, but they managed to get unhooked just in the nick of time before things got dramatically bad. And Justin is going to back out of that before anything gets any worse. Here comes Logan Cool, who's found some pace here on this restart. He's up to 6th despite literally flipping and restarting 10th. Everyone's a little sideways heading up that hill. That just kind of happens. Down the inside comes Derek. That's not Derek. That's not Derek either, but it works. Some contact made, but ultimately nothing major implication here. No major implication. Can it implicate some vocabulary? My word. Also, Ridwan clearing back ahead of Ridwan. Huh? Around goes Justin Rott. It's rare to see a Ferrari spin like that. That was like a Porsche spin or something, but not. So that Ferrari had had enough. It was time for 488 to leave. It had seen everything. Ow. It's a little more spread out now, a bit of breathing room between cars. Matthew Daly is still trying to mount some... I sound like an idiot. Mount some kind of recovery here. He is on the back of Jurgensmeyer. Overspeed from the Mercedes should make that relatively a formality. As we get to the braking zone here, just ahead of them as well. Down the inside, Derek versus Logan once more. And Derek will get back to P5. No, yeah, that's Ridwan. That's the wrong Porsche. I'm an idiot. God, I look like an idiot. How did Ridwan get back behind his teammate? Am I stupid? Yeah, I know, he passed Connor, and then he must have spun, and I wasn't looking. Ugh. Take medication. I've seen things. Anyway. Oh, Alonso is spun, which has given AJ a free race lead once again. He's also behind Hannick, and then trying to run for his life against the Porsches. Team orders executed, I believe. One of mine, Derek is just defending for some reason, and I think that is team orders. He's just trying not to let anybody slipstream him. Oh, that's chaos up there. What am I looking at? Hannick defending from Alonso. The camera made it look weird. Daly ahead, or Matthew Daly ahead of Logan. Around is Derek Daly, and around is Alonso again. Alonso, there we go. I hate having to chase people down the leaderboard. Oh, around goes Logan Cool, trying to give Derek Daly space, and that was just a near disaster. That's a rejoin and a half, but he managed to stay out of everybody's way. The Daly brothers wrecking braking boards and running 4-5 at the moment. Alonso very clearly is running some kind of qualifying setup. He has oodles of pace, but he's struggling to keep one of the most stable cars in the category under him. So that tells me that setup is very aggressive and very dangerous. Oh my god, the cornering speed difference. What was that? This was one in a GT4? That was insane. Yeah, this seems like a formality here, getting by Hamza. Just a matter of getting ahead of him at T1, I think. That's a lap that some cars would like to run in qualifying, and that's in the race while chasing somebody down. Into third place, Matthew Daly has recovered from his earlier clumsiness. I also know somebody has retired from the race. I'm trying to piece together who that would be. Oh, somebody has retired from racing, or from grip. It is Derek Daly. I had almost just called him Ice Daly. I mean, that's in his username. I would have been wrong, but I prefer first last name. Blame drivers like Francis Farr and Nick Guarino for making me that way. But I feel like I have to commentate people by their first and last names. Hunter Smith's another one. Not only does it sound a little more professional, as much as I'm definitely not professional, I'm clearing my throat on the mic. That's a car around way in the back. Oh, that's a great angle. I just saw that from way down here. To see headlights spinning way off in the distance, that is hilarious. And we got again teammates too wide. Jurgensmeyer's not gonna really resist that too much. Just saw headlights rotating in the distance, and I'm like, oh, somebody's around in the the carousel, the GP section. Keeping in mind what we know about the tire life here, particularly in regards to AJ2, if he didn't somehow magically correct that in the strategy screen pre-race, he's going to have some tire issues towards the end here. He might have a comfortable 3 second lead at the moment. But, I mean, Matthew proved earlier that that can all fall apart if his tires start to go. Like my voice is. Ramirez spinning, losing... Oh, that's a lot of damage. My God. But Logan just got caught in the tornado. Rio ended up in the tornado of souls. He ended up in a Megadeth song. Matthew Daly, just like that, now on the back of Connor Hannick, or thereabouts. He's about 7/10 back, but that's close enough for the McLaren driver to be worrying. Luis Ramirez has retired the car, which is funny that he does that. Meanwhile, Logan Cool, who the last time I saw him was missing a rear wing, is still trudging on in that McLaren. Logan isn't exactly the smartest or fastest driver, but he definitely tends to have a trooper's attitude when it comes to racing. He doesn't just quit, which is why he's on NFR, a team that's quit twice. But well, if you don't have drivers, you don't have drivers. So, and then I don't even have drivers here. There's just an empty team that's signed up that doesn't have anybody in it. Matthew Daly is right there now. This might be done into T1. The closing speed, that Mercedes top speed is obscene. 160 at the braking zone, and that is, yeah, that's definitely an overtake. Not really a question in my mind about that. Oh, with a cornering speed difference, Connor Hannick is not giving it up. He's going to make a last-second push at him, but it might be all for naught. I just realized that there are multiple 2 cars. Hannick and Justin Rott both have a 2. No. Hannick and Jurgensmeyer both have a 2 car. So I guess what? Hannick is just like a 2H, 2A, 2B or something? Just near Automata? But speaking of Justin Rott, he is on the back of Derek Daly for P6. Mal Hannick is still trying to do his darndest to stick with Matthew Daly, but it's not working. We have the lap car of Logan Cool ahead, which is interesting, but he's going to immediately evacuate the racing surface. As AJ Knickel will cross to take 5 to go here, getting near the end of our first week of racing. Certainly have been filled with random spins, to say the least. People struggling for grip here on these desert sands. I sit here and talk about the stability control debacle that's been basically the bane of everyone's existence since the rules started getting toggled around in the middle of IndyCar last year. Some people hate it, some people love it, some people live by it, or die by it. To me, I kind of feel like, considering we've been driving GT3s and ARC for 7 years, some drivers have an excuse. Luis Ramirez's first race on a wheel. And drivers like Justin Rott and Derek Daly, and Ridwan, they don't have as much track time as the others, but like, Logan's been around for a while, but he's also reliant on stability control. I don't think Justin Rott's done too many races. He lost a lot of drivers that were in the previous GT3 season simply because the stability control is disabled and we're on authentic assists. You know, the assists that these cars actually would have if you were driving them in real life. TC and ABS. And obviously, for those who don't know, the reason stability control is disabled is the way that it overrides the way your car's behaving if it detects a lot of oversteer or wheel spin, which is basically just to slam the brakes to make sure the car corrects itself, has caused many a crash that wouldn't have happened if the car just spun and slid off the racetrack. It caused, especially in wet weather races, it causes accidents like almost every week. Because the driver that has stability control on will have a tank slapper, and the game will just correct it for them by just slamming the brakes at the apex of a turn. That is why it's turned off, because it is more dangerous to the people around them for their car to be doing that than it is dangerous for the person who lost talent and spun out. For other series where the cars are generally harder to drive, like V8 supercars, I can kind of make a case for it. But as Justin Rott goes around, he has a half spin, he catches it, but that's not the first time that corner's been a problem for him. GT3s are like the beginner-friendly category in this whole game. No matter what your driving style is, you're bound to find one that works for you. And if you need stability control just to survive in these cars in a league racing scenario, that's not really the car's fault, and it's not really our fault. It's probably yours, be it your driving or your setup. And in IndyCar too, like, unless you have a bad setup, those cars are not too difficult to keep on the road. So I don't really see the need for stability control there, especially in that league, when the cars are made out of paper mache, and a sudden stability control brake test can take somebody's front tire off and end their night. The field is very spread out now. I cannot overstate. The two cars that are closest together are 3 seconds apart, and that is Justin Rott and Derek Daly. Derek is kind of surprising me today. He's not at amazing pace, mind you, but he's had a better time keeping that car on the road than most. And considering he was the last second entry that thought he was going to have to babysit a child not long before the race began, and the fact that he hasn't made a whole lot of starts in ARC as a whole, not in P-Cars 2 anyway, to my knowledge, I'm surprised that he's been able to do what he's done. That would mean he's had no practice, logically speaking, probably no practice. Among other things that would make it harder to drive. So although it's only a 6th place, he's looked like he knows what he's doing. And considering he's had no way of learning what to do, that's kind of a shock. Oh, I think it's starting to happen. Yeah, he's done 10 laps on those tires. I think AJ's maybe hitting that cliff again, looking at that turn. I don't think it'll matter, though, so long as he doesn't spin the car, because he's got 6 seconds to his teammate, and we have 2 laps to go. He would need to spin 180 to have even a chance of losing this race. Was right on board with the Canadian driver as he attempts to bring the worn-out tires home. And at least I'm assuming that's what's happening, and it wasn't just a mistake. It definitely looked like the kind of corner you'd make if your tires are going off. Just couldn't find forward bite at all. I do love how this car just, it kind of sounds just like a Wish.com NASCAR. Like, the way that it revs in low revs sounds so much like NASCAR Thunder 04. And I love it for that. White flag is in the air for AJ Knickel for what is shaping up to be another 44R 1-2 result. Just when I thought his tires were going, AJ went and actually gained time on the whole field again anyway with a 59-1. We've had 2 retirements from the race, literally both of the Champ Inc. cars, so that's certainly been a day to forget for them. A team that seemed hopeful to compete with 44R for the championship, if anybody else could. And instead, it's looking like Connor Hannick is going to be the first person to try, the way things are going so far. He's going to get a double podium, assuming things don't go absolutely bananas. Red won 4th place currently. There's really not much to have been said for the last, 5 laps. The race just got so spread out. I know it's kind of my job to... Has been not much to say. Into the final sector of the racetrack for one more time. Going to stop for the carousel. Keep it planted for the uphill right. And out of the final turn is going to be what everyone assumes to be a 2nd win already. For the defending GT3 champion, AJ Knickel wins the feature race from Dubai. About 8.5 seconds later, his teammate arrives to make it a 1-2 for 144R again. And Connor Hannick again with the repeat podium. So, Knickel, Daly, Hannick assumed to be the top 3 of both the sprint and feature. in spite of all the sheer chaos we had to go through to get there. Ridwan, with, mind you, his first week in GT3 on Project Cars 2, brings 4th place home in that Porsche. Jurgensmeyer, P5, after having a terrible qualifying session. Derek Daly, 6th. 7th, a very sideways Justin Rott. He has not had the best time controlling that thing today at all. And nor has Francisco Alonso, for that matter. As he finishes a lap down, as does Logan Cool. So, as Justin Rott takes us across the finish line to conclude today's racing action, my stomach has calmed down, so I will be able to actually do some interviews here, if I can actually think of any questions. Also, if I can find the party group, there we go, way down there. I had some guy leave like 18 group chats the other day, and it just put everything at the bottom. Tablet, what are we doing here? Oh, Henrik is here, didn't tell me. I guess he must have joined at the same time somebody else did. So we have our repeat podium finishers here. I guess that makes that a lot easier to do when nobody else got on the podium, except you three. Starting with the double third place result, Connor Hannick for the newly rebranded CL7. If I'm not mistaken, does that mean you have like partial ownership technically?
Yeah, it means I'm co-owner.
So I guess it must be like Connor Luke or something.
Connor Luke 7.
If only there was a 7 car in the McLaren, huh?
No. It's nice to first race, rebrand, third place.
Third place twice. The only person that could even get anywhere near the two Mercs up there, as far as consistency. Not on pace, but he stayed on the racetrack.
Yeah, they're very quick. They're a lot quicker than me, man.
I think it's an interesting position that you were in during either race was on those consecutive restarts, especially the race start. Knowing that your teammate was kind of at the front, did it ever occur to you that maybe, like, were you prepared for disaster into turn one, or?
I was prepared for disaster, mainly because I knew where we were starting and right on the line, so I knew we'd be on the back foot because everyone goes early there. So it was going to be pretty wide into the first corner, and I just decided for once I'll take it easy.
I noticed it came out the other side pretty much unscathed. And then the second restart, you still had him to play blocker, but it just didn't matter. So Dylan, it didn't matter because Dylan had pace. Unfortunately, he also had oversteer, so it all evens out.
Yeah. AJ got a great start on one of them. I can't remember which one it was, but that was also chaos as well.
I think that was the first. No, it was the second restart because Alonso was the leader because he didn't pit. I suppose anything to add to the notebook for like the setup, because I know this is probably when you're actually no, you've been in the McLaren before, haven't you? So you probably know the ins and outs.
I noticed I have, so I have a bit of leftover from a previous team affiliation with T44. So I've got a bit of leftover trickery in the bottom from previously. So I can't take credit for that setup.
And yeah. So, well, yeah, I suppose there's not very much to learn. I mean, unless you've like sat there and really grinded for a long time. I've tried once. It takes a lot to figure out.
Yeah, it's the most stable car I think I've ever driven on this game. So it's a nice platform to start from.
Perfect platform to ruin and end up like the Lamborghini. Those are stable too, but you wouldn't know it.
No, you couldn't.
And then moving on to our second place almost winner, Matthew Daly, who, we've learned retroactively that I didn't even notice he went off at the final turn there, but, were you really in attack mode on the final lap, or was it just that you were driving naturally and AJ was just kind of being brought back to you?
A mix of both. I knew we had a fast race car, and I wanted to be up close to him, maybe get like a picture across the line or something, and it just turned out that I had a good run, although with the penalty, a couple corners before, it was a good fun though.
It looked like something from like dirt racing or rallycross. I felt kind of robbed because I was like, oh, I just put so much effort into a call that didn't even matter because flipping penalties undid it anyway.
Yep. Although it's not too big of a deal with the sprint race, and after the start of the feature.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that too with your mindset for sort of recovery mode. I also definitely did catch you, Logan, getting together. Was the diagnosis there? Was that just oops on the brakes, or was the car not turning?
A mix of, he was holding me up. I was getting impatient a little bit. I wanted to get out in front early to drive away from AJ, get as much of the lead as I could, and also, I got a little bit like that corner is a pretty difficult one to pass. With that sweeping, I could have probably waited a little bit, but again, I was just impatient. On the brakes, it just understeers right into his.
Nobody wants to sit behind Logan.
So, yeah. I just watched the clip back. So.
Yeah, it was a good laugh because it was like, oh, Logan flipped again. Finally got somebody other than me who's known for flipping.
To be fair, I waited on him.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, so I didn't know whose fault it was, but the fact you just like stopped there, I was like, oh, I guess he must be shouldering blame for that.
Yeah, definitely wasn't his fault. It was more on me.
So the trackside camera just kind of made it look like, I don't even know what, it just kind of looked like you both moved. But the trackside cameras are terrible for determining collisions, so.
Yeah.
And then, that said, we got our race winner twice, defending champion AJ Knickel. You really make it hard to ask questions sometimes, you know that? It's like, how does it feel to win again? It's like, I don't know, Riker, probably pretty darn good. And that's why I hate those kind of cop-out questions.
It always feels good.
It's like they always ask those questions in actual interviews, and it's like, oh, what do you think, guy? Oh, I hate winning races.
It never stops feeling good. I'm pumped. I think we worked on the car a lot. Found a setup that worked for both of us. I think that was the biggest thing last year, was the car was quick, but it wasn't quick for both of us. It was quick for one of us. So I kind of was working on the baseline a bit. This was our baseline, so I think from here, there's still a lot of potential to wring out of it. I think we have a better package all around, and honestly, I think that was probably the best statement of intent we could have made. 2 1-2 finishes. I think we'll be on top this season. I'm not. I feel really good.
44 Hours stated that they intend to make it another boring championship. I am, of course, kidding.
100%.
I want to. Last season I had a really good one, and I think I won like 14 races. Like I felt really good. It was probably my best season ever, and now I'm like, I want to beat that, you know?
I didn't ask. It'd be a lot cooler if you didn't, personally. I would like a little bit of disparity here.
This could be, I mean, I don't know. I have kind of gone into these last 2 seasons with the mindset of this could be the last Project Cars 2 season. Just because, like, you know, you get to a point where the game's 7, 8 years old or whatever it is now, and we're hitting dwindling numbers. Same people kind of every week. The rookie classes have kind of gotten a little smaller, so I'm trying to enjoy it while I still can. And I'm really enjoying it right now. I hope that we can keep the field strong this year.
Yeah, there's a little bit of me that wishes I could enjoy it on the track, but I feel like I have to commentate.
I'll
Nobody
get you a
else
new
will do it.
commentator. I'll try and get you a new one.
No, at least a secondary guy for when
I
my throat
heard
decides
that-
to lock up.
I heard Jerk said he wasn't wanting to race these anymore because he's not having fun. Maybe you and him can do a swap.
Somebody with even less emotion than me? Are you sure?
We'll get him a hype man.
Gotta give him a chance, at least.
Anyway, yeah, I'm pumped about that. I think that's good. I think we have a lot to do this season still.
As, I mean, there's really very little in doubt. There's really not much to question you on. Like, I don't want to say it was straightforward because it never is, but it at least from the booth, it kind of looked like just kind of had it. And it was just a matter of taking it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple handling characteristics I'm not in love with right now, but when you get down to it and you're like, oh, it's just these little tiny things wrong with the car, you're never, like, feeling bad about it. Like, I feel really good, so.
It's, yeah, the 44R clearly, well, it looks like it's going to be their championship to lose based on today alone, so... with that in mind, interviews concluded. Word for our sponsors, not from them. Shout out to DIVEBOMB Motorsport, ARC's premier partner. DIVEBOMB being the collaborative new media project by motorsports fans for motorsports fans. They're all over Instagram and different articles and stuff. SimLeaguePro.com and or SLP, the league management partner of ARC. Forum-based website that allows drivers and community managers to create leagues and races that can be enjoyed by everybody, regardless of platform or game of choice. To SimWrap Market, iRacing's largest marketplace of professional level livery design templates, designs, custom graphics, number sets, and everything else for iRacing. I believe they are now our iRacing oval racing title sponsors, so maybe we should have put them higher on the script here. IMB Racewear, ARC's sim racing apparel sponsor. They bring gloves and boots for sim racing, built for the ground up. That's a phrase that means nothing to me now. Running gag. The quality and precision necessary for sim racing. To the Racing Rats, ARC's Assetto Corsa mod partners, putting out free mods of obscene quality. That doesn't sound right. And working closely with us to host incredible Assetto Corsa League Racing. I think that's one of our other GT3 leagues. We've got 3 of them now. And finally, both to James McAdam Photography and AJ Kinnickle Design, respectively our photography and graphic design partners that make the social media posts that go up multiple times a day a possibility. But until next time, everybody here at Auto Racing Connected, thank you. Riker Lummel will be signing off.